Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the June 13th or Fall City Council meeting. First thing we'll do is stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Christie, can I have a roll call, please?
Bierstead.
Here.
Bjork.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Downing.
Here.
Morset.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Odine.
Here.
Okay, next our approval of the minutes from the May 23rd Board of Review and the regular meeting minutes.
I move approval. Second.
First and second, questions or comments? Christie, can we have a roll call? Everything, please, because I will forget.
Bjork.
Yes.
Odine.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Morset.
Yes.
Downing.
Yes.
Bierstead.
Yes.
Okay, next I have approval of the bills with Mr. Downing.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I move approval for the bills in the amount of $1,560,642.98, subject to the comptroller.
Second.
First and second, questions or comments on the bills? Christie?
Odine.
Yes.
Downing.
Yes.
Morset.
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Bierstead.
Yes.
Bjork.
Yes.
Okay, next move into public comments. If there's anybody in the audience they'd like to talk about something, now would be the time to come up. And if you want to, there is something about, we do have a public hearing on camping. If you want to wait till then to talk, that's fine too. Otherwise, that's the only public hearings we have. So if anybody wants to come up and talk, so we'll try it with, if there's going to be a lot of people, we'll try to keep it to about 2 minutes a person.
My name is Pat Armstrong, and I live at 424 Kennedy Street, and I'm here to complain about the sidewalk that you guys want to put on our street. You have all seen the petition that everyone signed, and you've seen our concerns. We've not had a sidewalk in our area for 45 years, and we don't have any problems. We haven't had any major accidents or anybody getting hurt with that, and our streets are wide enough that you could put a walking or a bicycle lane on the streets. And as it is right now, all the trees that are going to go down, and the sidewalk will be 2 feet closer to our houses, and people will be able to probably see in our houses, and some neighbors are going to lose a lot of their driveways and not be able to park because of cutting off, because you can't block the sidewalk. And a lot of neighbors have gotten their yards really fixed up nice. They're going to lose all that too. So I really want you to consider voting no next week for this sidewalk. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything in the audience?
All the neighbors, I shouldn't have them all stand up, all the neighbors are here.
Okay, we'll move on and
Mr. Mayor, I have a public comment.
Yep.
I wanted to wish everyone a happy National Pollinator Week and thank city and residents for supporting environmental stewardship within our community. On September 21st, 2006, the U.S. Senate created a National Pollinator Week to recognize the importance of pollinators to our ecosystem, health, and agriculture. Every year since the inception, the week has grown in support and activities to educate and explore the world of pollinators. Not too long ago, we made our city an official bee city. This official designation supports the conservation of pollinators within our city. As chair of the River Falls Bee Committee, I have the distinct privilege of thanking the mayor and council for supporting Bee City USA and the pollinator conservation. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
okay. Yep, come on up. Yeah, come on up.
Hi, my name is Joe Munson. I live at 100 Kennedy Street here in River Falls. I'm also here to talk about the sidewalk that's being proposed to be built on Kennedy Street, Sycamore, that sort of thing. I live right at the corner of Kennedy and Sycamore, so I got a pretty good feel of the traffic that goes on there. I also have 3 young kids, 10, 11, and 13. We've lived on the street for 6 years, and as you can imagine, they're young kids. We go down to the park quite a bit. We've never once felt unsafe walking on the road, getting to the park, walking around the neighborhood, and we do take regular walks around. I feel the road, I guess I would describe it as luxuriously wide in our street there. I just don't feel that there's a need to put a sidewalk in. To me, a sidewalk brings people closer, to your house. In my life, I've had my car broken into one time only. And I'm pretty sure it was because the sidewalk was right up, going through, it was, how sidewalks go through the end of the driveway and you gotta park really close because it's kind of tight to your house. Well, my vehicle was right there. And I'm confident it was school kids walking by and broken. We were up at the high school, so it was a sidewalk. But yeah, it's the only time my car's ever been broken into. And, if the sidewalk wasn't there bringing people 10, 12 feet closer to my vehicle wasn't parked right upon it, I don't think that would have happened. So I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't think a sidewalk is needed, to be honest with you. So, thank you.
So does anybody else want to say anything? Anybody want to come up and say anything? Now's a chance.
For the chance to be in public record, you really do need to come up here and speak and actually write your name down like Joe's doing.
I'm Susie Baker. I live next door, 106 Kennedy. And I guess my concern was we're losing so many trees in town because of the ash borer. And then so many are going to be lost now with all these yards. A lot of them are right next to where they're going to have to take out for the sidewalk. And the ones that they won't hit, it'll probably hit the kill zone for trees that are not in that exact 8 feet, but it'll probably kill them once they start taking down. So that's my concern. I don't see a lot of people going to the park. And the same thing, the wide road. If we could just have a bike path, that'd be great. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Ben Miller. I live at 444 Kennedy. We've owned the place for 7 years. I don't see a need for a sidewalk. It's just going to disrupt a ton of lives. You guys have already disrupted us jamming in how many units on either end of our development. Now you're going to come in and just tear it all up. So, opposed. Please don't. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jury, and this is my husband Douglas. We've lived at 400 Kennedy since '95 when we bought our first home. And it's been a starter home for all these years, but it's our home. We've never seen any problem with people walking in the streets. I mean, people do, but there's no competition. We have very nice timber planters at the end of our driveway. Many people have complimented us on them. Neighborhoods, people walking by. And they will be gone if you put a sidewalk through there. Also, our driveway, we just managed to get the money together to do a new tar driveway. And with your sidewalk going through, that's going to disrupt that, I'm sure. And I admit, I don't look forward to getting our mature trees taken down. Sure, you'll replace them with little guys, but how long before we get any shade from them?
No, I think that pretty much covered it.
Okay, I guess I'll stop there. Thank you.
Saying the same. I think a lot of people know our house from the flower gardens that they walk by and stuff like that.
Thanks.
So,
Hi, I'm Angela Lewis. I live at 506 Kennedy Street. I also oppose the sidewalk, basically for the same reasons that my neighbors already have told you. I lived at my house for 21 years. I don't really feel there's a need for it. I'm not excited about the loss of parking. I'm not excited to have to maintain a sidewalk. I don't feel it's needed, but probably the thing that I get the most emotional about is I have a tree in my front yard. I'm very upset that's gonna come down. I don't even really like to talk about it. And the city says that they, promote trees, and it's a perfectly good tree, and I'm gonna lose it because of a sidewalk for a piece of concrete that isn't even needed. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else have anything? Okay.
Oh, Tom. My name is Thomas Soderberg. I live at 436 Kennedy Street, River Falls. I've lived in the same home for 47 years. And now we're gonna put up with a sidewalk and a removal of our nice maple tree. That's all I have.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Carolyn O'Brien. We live at 440 Kennedy Street. One of the biggest concerns I have with this neighborhood, we have a lot of seniors on this side of the street. We have the subsidized housing across the street where there are children and stuff. But our side of the street on Kennedy, the majority of it is seniors. And to think of my 70-year-old husband to have to go out there and shovel that sidewalk, and if he's not out there in time and some 9-year-old comes and breaks their arm that we got to pay for, I guess I'm not real concerned. I'm not real happy about that. And I also don't like the loss of the trees in the neighborhood itself.
My name is Paul Whiteside. I've lived in a house for 50 years, 120 Kennedy Street. And at this particular stage, I do not feel that this neighborhood needs sidewalks. For the damage it'll do to the trees and the lawns coming up, you drive up from Sycamore, come up the hill there around, there's a bunch of trees that are gonna have to go and down by the park, The traffic on our street with the new additions on both ends, I thought was gonna be really heavy, but it isn't. They're going out the other way towards the high school there. And right now, the only thing I think that we need on that street is maybe a sign to slow down people, speed limit or something. Once in a while you have people fly through there. But as far as the traffic level, there isn't a lot of kids in our neighborhood, and the park is not utilized. There isn't, very seldom is there kids around there. So I feel that the street is wide enough where we've never had any problem with walking or anything because the street's so wide. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Okay. So first thing we'll do is close the council hearing and open a public hearing on ordinance 2023-09, creating section 9.08.080 of the municipal code relating to camping on public property. Is there anybody on that has anything like to say about this? Okay, we'll close the public hearing and open up the council hearing, and I'll take a motion on this.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we accept ordinance 2023-09, creating section 9.08.080 of the municipal code related to camping and public property.
Second.
First, second, questions, comments?
I know that at the first reading, there was some concern about whether or not this would cover RVs parked on the street. So I have a proposed amendment. If you take a look at the ordinance, section A A3, defines city property as any property which is owned or leased by the city of River Falls and all public right-of-ways. My amendment would be to strike "and all public right-of-ways." I've talked with our city attorney, and I've also looked at the ordinances we have, ordinances covering what's allowed on right-of-ways and also parking and duration of parking on city streets. So that, I think that would clarify that this is just property owned or leased by the city of River Falls.
Yep.
So I propose that amendment.
Okay.
I'll second her amendment.
First and second, question or comments on the amendment? Okay, first we'll vote on the amendment. Christie, we have a vote on the amendment to do exactly what Diane said.
Morissette,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Bjork,
Yes.
Miller,
No.
There's a thumbs up on her.
Odine,
Yes.
Yes.
Bierstead,
Yes.
Downing.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll vote on the regular ordinance, creating a section for the municipal code relating to camping. Christie?
Can I ask clarification, so just so I understand the amendment? Ms. Odine and the council, you feel that the current ordinances regulating use of right-of-way are adequate without additional ordinance? Is that how I understand it?
I think the current ordinances are adequate to deal with the problem of recreational vehicle parking on streets.
Yeah, so you're not suggesting that you would like to encourage camping on right-of-way?
That is correct.
Okay, that's how I understand it. I just wanted to clarify.
Okay, Christie?
Miller,
Yes.
Bjork,
Yes.
Bierstead,
Yes.
Morissette,
Yes.
Downing,
Yes.
Odine,
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Okay, next move on to consent agenda. First thing is resolution approving the ADA Title IV plan updates to receive federal grants. Number 4 is resolution approving development agreement between the City of River Falls and White Birch LLC. Number 5 is a resolution approving purchase agreement with White Birch LLC. Does anybody want to pull anything?
Mr. Mayor, I need to pull number 4 and 5.
Okay. Take a motion for 3.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the resolution approving the ADA Title IV plan update to receive federal grants.
Second.
First and second, questions or comments? Christie?
Carroll,
Yes.
Bjork,
Yes.
Bierstead,
Yes.
Morissette,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Downing,
Yes.
Odine.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Morissette, you pulled 4 and 5.
Mayor and council, I have a conflict of interest with between my employer and White Birch LLC, so I need to abstain from voting on these 2 items.
Okay.
So I'll move to accept 4 and 5 from consent agenda items.
Second.
First and second, questions or comments? Christie?
Yes.
Downing,
Yes.
Bjork,
Yes.
Odine,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Morissette.
Abstain.
Okay, next move on to ordinance resolutions. Resolution approving event request for River Falls Community Art-Based Music in the Park at City Hall. I'll take a motion on this.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution, or item number 6, resolution approving event request for River Falls Community Arts-Based Music in the city in the park at City Hall Plaza.
Second.
First and second, questions or comments on this?
Yeah.
Go first.
I'm not in favor of this. I'm a big fan of cabin. I'm a big fan of music in the park, but I see this conflicts with another obligation the city has, which is municipal court, which occurs on Thursday nights in this room at overlapping times. Now, municipal court is an elected judge who deals with violations of city ordinances. The offenders that come before him are frequently young, frequently it's their first time involved in the legal system. And I take that obligation, that city obligation, very seriously, and I just don't think it would be appropriate to have a party outside the courtroom during when court is in session. So there are other nights, there are other places in town to have this. I just don't think Thursday night in front of City Hall is the right place. Okay.
I very rarely agree with Diane, but I do in this case. So I second exactly what she has to say. I agree completely with that, so.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge to hold the event on that night, yeah, because of the court. It's not something I would support as presented.
I just have a question quick, and I don't know if anyone has an answer. Do we know just in general how many people end up in court that evening? Or is it just very widely?
I think it just depends.
I think it depends on
Yeah,
whether or
what-
not they plea bargain or whether or not they want to appear, or I don't know.
I think varies widely is the best way to, I mean, it could be, they're gonna probably, if they only have 2 or 3, they're probably gonna delay it or push it for the docket. On the other hand, the judge wants to give people efficient prosecution, so I know there has been dockets pretty small, but typically there's, I'm looking at the deputy chief trying to think, when's the last time you were at court? I mean, I don't think I've been at a court, I don't think I've observed court that there's been less than a dozen to 15. And I've been at ones where there's 35 or 40. I don't know what the docket looks like. If you're trying to gauge like how much of a disruption, I'm not sure that I can give you a good, but we can certainly, that's information we could request of the judge too, to see if it's a light docket or not. And sometimes we don't have, the judge doesn't have total control over that either as the citations and things come in. So I'm sorry, I don't have a better answer for you, but.
No, I appreciate it. And I guess my point is I see there's a weight in terms of not having it, and I hear that and I'm receptive. My only thought was it possible that we would be having this very valid point and then have one person that evening, and therefore maybe it had a little less validity in that specific individual circumstance. My other thought was if you're in other large cities, court's happening all the time, there are still festivals and things happening. But like I said, I hear where council's at on this, or at least 3 of members have spoken, so.
Yeah, my own opinion is that, you know, even if it's one person, I believe the judge is in chambers, is present during Thursday evening, so is also doing work with the court, even if it's not a hearing. But yeah.
I would encourage CAB to come back with different dates and, let our city staff know how they can accommodate and work with the city on this project.
And whether there's 1 or 40, we probably won't know until the week before too, so.
The night of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, respectfully, I just want to let you know that this is the request.
Yep.
So I don't know that there's,
Nope. You gotta vote
I
on
wouldn't
this.
anticipate council sending this back to staff and then we work with CAB and they've got their plan and they'll have to figure that out. So they're requesting through the process these dates under these terms, and the council can determine yes or no.
Yep.
But I wouldn't anticipate, if it's a no, you should assume it's a no, not that they'll just move it to another date. That's certainly something they can come back and request, but I don't want to make it seem like this was their first choice and they have a backup plan.
I guess I have a process question then on that, which is when this was being developed on their end, and I don't know if we have a representative from CAB, but did they think about this part? Was this communicated early enough in the process, or were the dates picked by their organization then given to us with this challenge?
It was the latter. I think CAB had informed us that they had already picked the dates and at a previous event took an opportunity to get the word out and spread the message about that. And so through the process of them submitting a request, the city clerk did let them know that there was court and staff had concern about that.
Anybody else have anything on this? Okay, Christie,
It's just 6.
this is just 6.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second
Yep, motion second for 6.
to approve the request. So voting
Request.
yes would approve the request.
Yes. No.
Bjork,
No.
Odine,
No.
Carol,
No.
Miller,
No.
Morset,
No.
Downing,
No.
Bierstadt.
No.
Well, they're on the agenda, so we'll go through them. 7, should we still go through them? I'm assuming.
Other
I
action
think on a
items, we
mute-
either got to
Action
table them
items,
or
yeah.
act on them.
So we do go through resolution approving request for open container exemption for River Falls Community Art Base Music in the Park at City Hall, and I'll take a motion on this. Okay.
I move we approve the resolution for open container exemption for the River Falls Community Art Based Music in the Park at City Hall Plaza.
If there's no second, it
Yep,
fails for-
yep. Resolution fails for no second. 8 is a resolution approving request for noise control exemption for River Falls Community Arts-based music in the park in the City Hall Plaza. Okay, resolution, it fails for no motion, for no first, so move on to administrator's report. Are there anything for City Administrator Simpson or Scott, if you have anything for us?
I have a few additions to or highlights of the request, or report, I'm sorry. Upcoming events, June 26th at 1 will be emergency weather warning siren test. June 27th, 5 p.m. Is the city council workshop on capital improvement plan before your city council meeting. I do give a friendly reminder to the public, and we've given it to our employees also, that this is the season to slow down. Lots of bikes and scooters and pedestrians and fishing poles and soccer balls all over town with kids out. Quite a bit of activity in the tweens and teens, and we'd like to keep encouraging their free movement throughout the town. So we just invite the motorists to slow down. Thursday, June 29th will be the first cookout conversation with mayor and council members. That's at Glen Park, 6 to 7:30. In addition to the free meal provided by the mayor and council, we also have some activities, including games, crafts, and other activities for all ages. So we'd encourage you to bring the whole family or a group of friends. The pool and the splash pad are open. I had the opportunity to go out and take a look, and they were jam-packed on opening day, and they'll continue to be open through the summer. Library Centennial, I just got back into town too late yesterday, but I understand I might not have been able to get a parking spot there, or a balloon. I don't know if they ran out of pie either. I think they might have, I think they had like over 400 pieces of pie there too. So really good turnout from what we understand, and we appreciate the community coming out and celebrating with us. That is the updates that I had for the council. Is there any questions that you have for me?
Okay, move on to, I got a couple appointments I want to make. I'd like to appoint Robert Gormanson through May of 26 to the Plan Commission. He would be replacing Michael Woolsey. And I'd like to reappoint Rebecca Prendergrass through May of 26 to the Plan Commission.
I move that we accept the mayor's appointments.
Second.
For second, questions, comments? Christie?
Morset,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Bjork,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Odine,
Yes.
Bierstadt,
Yes.
Downing.
Yes.
Move to adjourn.
Christie?
Carol,
Yes.
Bjork,
Yes.
Bierstadt,
Yes.
Morset,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Downing,
Yes.
Odine.
Yes.
We are adjourned.